Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Firsties. I'm your host, Mila. I always start the episode by giving thanks for everyone who's listening, watching, subscribing, commenting, all the fun stuff. I really, really do appreciate it. It means so much to me, so please continue to do that. Before I start this episode and allow the guest to introduce himself, happy holidays. Merry Christmas, guys. I wore red today just because I knew this was going to be coming out on Christmas. So I hope you're spending time with your family and friends if you're lucky enough. So I'm going to take it over to the guest here. I want you to introduce yourself.
Yep. How are you guys doing? Thank you for having me.
Of course.
My name is Bizz. I go by Bizz.
Bizz is a dope name, by the way. Go ahead.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I think every Bizz takes that name.
Yeah, okay.
So it's like, yeah, but my name is Bizz, like I mentioned. Go by Bizz. I do it. Yeah. Do I like?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I do TikTok, and I own a brand. Yeah. Pretty much just a little simple guy.
Yeah. So the way that we connected was actually through a Salam Center. And you're just the guy who's like handling it all and making sure everyone was good, which I really do appreciate. We were both part of like the media team of that Culture Fest, which shout out to Salam Central. They show us both love on our content. I've grown a lot because of the love that Salam Central showed us. So shout out to them. I'm still trying to figure out who it is. They won't tell me.
Yeah, I've been trying to figure out too. Yeah.
Have you been asked yet? Are you Salam Central? I'm like, I'm not Salam Central.
I think I'm launching like a whole investigation right now.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So you talk about your social media, and you are doing numbers, especially on TikTok and Instagram.
Thank you.
Everything you post, but everything you post specifically on TikTok is getting thousands of views, like consistently, right? And I think it has to do with, you are the brand. You're the one who's asking all these questions. So what made you get into TikTok and social media and everything?
I think I've been doing like, as far as social media for a minute now.
Yeah.
Especially at first I was an artist, so like I was doing music and everything. As soon as I went to music school, like music business and stuff, I studied up. And then that's when that's where I really like started thinking about things differently. I was like, okay, let me actually figure out how can I become an influencer or something like that, so I can get people to really pay attention to my music or also content or whatever it was. So around like 2019, when everybody was shutting down, that's when I was like, okay, let me kind of pick it up a little bit, figure out something that I can actually, contribute to my community, and also something that will help me do something fulfilling for myself. So.
And is content creating your full-time job?
Not full-time. My full-time job is I work as a quality control for like personal like manager for NIH and stuff. So
got it. Yeah. Which that is the first gen experience, is very much like until your hobbies, or that's what our parents say, or like passions like start making some money, you got to do the day job or the corporate job for sure. So speaking about, as you know, like Firsties, we talk about like the first gen experience. Is there anything that you want to share as far as like what your first gen experience was, whether that was like your days in middle school or high school, or even now trying to navigate the content world, because there isn't many people like us on social media right now.
Yep, you're right. Navigating that first gen, my experience, I came here when I was like around 11 years old. So
okay.
It was a whole culture shock. I had to process that first, and then
that's real.
Once you do that, once you get over that hump, you realize, hey, I'm the first child too, so it's like, I'm
and
jumping
the boy
out the
too.
I'm jumping off the field straight up.
Yeah.
And I was like, at first it took me a little bit time to really find myself, my identity, especially like being Habesha, but also like going to predominantly like black or like white school and stuff.
Yeah.
Really just trying to kind of fit in, find out who I am, what I want to do, and this whole social pressure of like family pressure of like, hey, better be getting all good grades and all that. You got college and stuff.
That's real.
And the wildest part is like, if you are a creative or a person that's not really with the traditional path, it's something that's going to make you be like, hey, look, you want to communicate to your parents, say, oh, look, this is not the path I really want to do. But that whole pressure is going to be different. And there's like turmoil in the home and stuff. And it's really hard to navigate it, but yeah.
Yeah. You're really speaking it, and we're only 4 minutes in, which is insane.
Right?
No. This is exactly why I wanted you on. No, this is why, because you could get deep, but then you're also very lighthearted and have like, silly questions as well. Because that is the first gen experience for all of us. I do find that like a lot of my supporters and viewers are creatives. They're like, this is a safe space for me to not feel like a freak or a weirdo or here 4 years ago. Judgment or what other people told me delayed that, which God's timing is everything, so I have no regrets. But it's real. Like, our parents didn't. It's not. They didn't envision us, being me being a podcast host, and that's why they flew from Addis to come here. You know what I mean?
Right,
yeah.
They want success for us. At the end of the day, fact, they want success for us, and they want us to make sure that we're good. And the one thing is that in their mind, their idea of success or the path that we're supposed to take is like, set in stone. So
set in stone.
And it's really hard to kind of convince somebody that doesn't really see any other way of making it.
Right.
Then it's just like their whole world or their little paradigm's like breaking apart.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially when they don't see your vision, like you only see your vision. So like I bet for you too, like with the social media game, it's a lot. It's kind of lonely. You have to motivate yourself. Yeah. You're the business, right? Like, cause I've seen you do your work out, like when we were out doing that event and stuff. And it's like, if you're not running the show, content's not being made. You know what I mean? Facts. Like it starts and ends with you. And that could be a lot of pressure for sure.
You're working out there.
You're working.
Exactly. Everybody's out to play and stuff. I've said this like to one friend a while back, man, like he was like, man, I will see you outside. And you know what I'm saying? Like he thinks I'm partying and everything. And I'm like, dude, like you don't understand. I don't even sip a drink anymore. Like I'm out here working, like content.
That's amazing.
That, and it's like you mentioned earlier. I know you was doing the one woman show right now. You say that's I dead ass relates that because I was outside like first Culture Fest. We went like they threw in Dallas. I literally had to get literally the same tripod right there, same setup and everything. Yeah. Put it right there, walk outside, and just like be right in front of it, and then do the whole interview by myself, and just like
that was you by yourself.
I was by myself. And that's
wow!
Like, you really have to be.
You got good content. Wow.
Appreciate it, but it's literally you have to be dedicated and just do it. And nobody else is going to do it,
Yeah. And I was telling him, like, I usually tell the guests before we record, like, what the setup is and everything. And I am a one-woman show, so I usually am telling him how I'm going to do the recording. Well, it's like a whole thing. Y'all don't even know.
No, it's facts.
Y'all don't even know.
There's a lot
but it's
that
worth
goes
it.
Into it.
It's worth it. Yeah, it's worth it. And then when you get the messages, and I was going through all of your comments to see the feedback, and everyone is really enjoying your content. And I'm sure that definitely helps you, like, motivate you to do more.
It's all for the people.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
I definitely got to make sure that they're the ones that support me the most. So it's like I definitely appreciate everybody that's been tuning in and really giving me good feedback.
Absolutely. I mean, it's your tribe vibe. Like that's literally your brand. You know what I mean? It's community. Yeah, exactly. Which is really, really beautiful. That's awesome. That's why when I met you, I was like, I gotta get him on the pod. One, because I just love what you stood for, but also when I'm very much like I peep stuff from across the room. And I just saw how you were really working. Like some people do this content stuff and they're really down to kiki, and I'm not. Like we did our interviews and we went home. Me and my producers went home. You know what I mean? Like that was it. We're not here to kiki. No. Like I'm here to get paid, not to kiki.
About business, handle business.
Exactly.
Handle business. Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's real.
Exactly. Yeah. So thank you for sharing your first gen experience there, because that is real and a lot of people can relate to that. Not even just like my Indian friends, Latino friends, like Asian friends, everyone can relate.
Oh, diaspora community is real. Like, we go through that, especially if you're the first gen. It's rough out there, yo.
And you're oldest, you mentioned, and you're the boy. I'm sure that comes. I don't even know that experience. Like, I'm sure that comes a lot
on my shoulders, but heavy is the head that wears the crown. Right?
Yeah, yeah. You're built for it.
You gotta take it.
You're built for it. Yeah. Okay, so on your social media, you have these questions that you ask, which are hilarious.
Thank you.
I did pull some comments that some people had, and I just want to like discuss with you just some lighthearted stuff.
I'm happy to do it.
Do the first jet stuff. So one of the questions that you asked was, is it valid to go to a Ethiopian restaurant on the first date? Have you done that?
Yeah, I have not done that.
You have not done that. Okay. And a lot of the people who answered said like, yeah, that's pretty much valid. There's a few that said like, no. Now if let's say a girl asked you out and she took you to house, what is your feedback on that?
That's valid. For me, it's valid. Like,
right?
I would do that. But depending, like, I'm a good reader of like character and person and their vibe. So you have to keep that in mind. You're not just, most of the time people just take people along for the ride, whatever. Like I actually like tailor it to that person.
Intentional is what I hear.
Yeah. Make sure that experience is good for her as much as for me. But yeah, I definitely would take a girl to an Ethiopian restaurant. I'll say the first date, definitely, but she has to be, you know what I'm saying, into it.
Yeah, right. I did see someone also say on one of the answers was it would be okay if it was a Habesha person, but if a non-Habesha took them to a Habesha, they're like, that's reaching. That might be. I was like, I might be agree with that, but I'm also saying with you, it's like, what's the intention behind it? Like, that's all that matters. The actual setting doesn't really matter. Yeah. It's really the vibes. Yeah, for sure. Another question is that's really, really popular is what is the valid amount for a guy to spend on a first date?
Yeah.
Now here's the thing: is one guy said like $160 or $180. Right. And the guy next to him was like, I don't be really spending money like that on women, like $15 at McDonald's. Yeah. My jaw dropped. Yeah. I was like, wait, what? It was that was insane. But that's good content that you want to get.
So what? He's the man for that. Appreciate it.
I was like, and here's the thing is, again, guys, I'm gonna plug Bizz at the end of this episode as well as the description, so you guys can check out his content. He doesn't just do interviews. He also cuts it and has memes in between the videos, which makes it just an even better experience. It really does. That comment, I was like, I could not get past the $15 McDonald's. I was like, whoa, okay.
I don't agree with that.
So what's your feedback?
15 is a little wild for me. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
What's your feedback on that?
My feedback, my bad, I cut you off. Yeah.
No, you're fine.
15 is a little wild. I definitely would not do that unless that's the vibe. But I'm not saying like that. I definitely wouldn't be on that type. Just make sure you put attention, attention to it.
That's what I think. Intention is all. It doesn't actually cost much to do a lot. It really doesn't.
You can get away with 50, do some solid vibes, Just
kind
of be creative as well. I've heard a lot of creative answers. I'm not gonna lie. I'd be taking some notes.
You're working, but you're also taking notes.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, hey, that's actually something.
No, I mean, one guy said that he cooked for the girl and it was completely free. I was like, yeah, that's also like how intention that is to cook for someone. Yeah, I think he said injera. Yeah, I think he said injera. I was like,
my boy was capping.
Okay, yeah. Pop off. And then one of our mutual friends, Benny, who's an amazing comedian. I had him on. He's awesome.
I watched that episode. That was vibes.
Yeah, he was so great. Yeah, he's awesome. I'm gonna have him on again soon. He mentioned that Ethiopian restaurant is valid because I need to see what her gutsha is like. Yeah. So gutsha on a first date, what's your take on that?
My take on it, it's with the vibes, but definitely I approve the message.
Okay. You sponsored the message?
I sponsored the message.
Got it. Okay, yeah. I know a lot were down, but there were a few that were like, I might not.
Size of the gutsha matters though. Can be wild.
So here's the thing is that when you did that video, the meme that you put right after that, the size of that gutsha of that raw meat, I said, sir, bro, back up.
He's trying to kill somebody with that. That's insane.
I was like, whoa, okay. And then one of the other most popular is I want you to complete this sentence. It's a red flag when a Habesha girl.
Mine is, you want me to answer it, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Give me a second.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's crazy. Yeah. People don't think about it. Most of the time, they just kind of just throw up whatever they. For me,
I'll say to give you some time. I'll say it's a red flag for a Habesha guy to be rude to his mom. I'm out. I don't need an explanation. Nothing. I'm out.
That's deep. Yeah. That's facts.
I'm out.
Yeah, you gotta make sure you have good communication with moms. Yeah. How you treat your mom is how you treat your woman.
Yeah. So like he's yelling on the phone and I'm like, ooh, I'm out. Yeah. Chef, please.
That's definitely a super red flag.
Right? For both. Yeah.
For me, more so, it would be social media in a sense where you're on the phone 24/7 and all you're doing and everything is for the clout. That's the biggest red flag for me. As soon as I see that, it's just automatically out.
Got you. That's when I pull. Okay. Now that reminds me though, one of your videos, because I really study my guests and I did a deep dive. A guy said if she has over 5,000 followers. Yeah. I'm like, what if she's trying to get a bag? Yeah, like what?
That's facts. Like I don't agree with that. Like I get what he's saying, but it's like if you're not using social media for certain things.
Yeah, I think the content he's saying is that she's like thirst shopping and she's just like out there. Then it's no.
Especially because, it's a tough ass world right now. Like, especially the kind of social paradigm we live in right now is wild. So it's a little trippy for them. Yeah, especially for the guys. It's hard out here.
Oh really? Really?
Yes, ma'am.
Not yes, ma'am.
struggling.
Oh my God. No, we're all, it's tough for us too. So we're all in the trenches.
That's facts.
Yeah, absolutely. So on that topic, I also want to talk about if you're comfortable dating in the African culture. I've talked about this topic before. I've never had a male perspective.
Real.
I'm really close to my brother, so we talk about it all the time. But what is your feedback on like dating in the African culture, meaning coming from a Habesha Christian household? Right. Like you mentioned, you're the oldest son. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure there's some pressures that come with that. Yep. So what's your experience with that, dating in the Ethiopian culture?
I haven't introduced my mom to anybody yet. Like, that's why I would say definitely.
There's like an unspoken rule, right? It's
facts.
Like, unless it's vetted and you're serious.
You know what I'm saying? Until you send, like, the elder folks, like, what do they call
it?
Ababa Lakuna. Like,
yeah.
And so you, like, send them. It's not, she's not getting to meet my moms. But definitely, I would say, for my experience, they're so judgmental. Like, parents are judgmental. So, you feel me? They're going to nitpick and just, my mom is already throwing out the, like, word, hey, when you about to, show me your girlfriends. And I'm like,
yeah.
What you mean? Like,
have you expressed her that you've had a girlfriend before? Or you've never? Okay, you have. Okay, but she's never met.
But she's never met. I showed her a picture once, and then she kept asking me about it for the first, like, for last month. Like, I was like, yo, you're more invested than me right now. I'm like, cool.
It'd be like that sometimes.
Because they're happy for us and everything.
Of course,
but,
yeah.
It's they don't. It's not like back home. Like, back home, their experiences, like, actual marriage and stuff is so out of whack.
Talk
so
about it.
It's wild. They think it's easy out here and everything, but it's like, yo, like, I'm picking a life partner. I'm not out here just, dibbling, dabbling, and jumping from ship to ship. It's just like, nah, bro. Like, I really vet my people.
Yeah. It sounds like you do for anyone, your friends, anyone in your inner circle, you're gonna vet before, which is a good quality to have. Yeah.
Don't let just anybody in. That's real.
Talk about it, because absolutely, yeah. No, that's so interesting, because it's refreshing to hear a male say that, because like my brother's not getting the same pressure that I'm getting and my sister's getting, and I probably has to do with the fact that he's male, and he could have a kid when he's 80 years old. Great for him. Nice. You know what I mean? There's pressures there. Interesting to hear like the male perspective.
Definitely no pressure on us.
Of
That's
that.
The wildest part.
Yeah.
And stuff. They already know we're gonna be good. So
right.
It's like, but for my sister though, I definitely see that.
Yeah. How many siblings do you have?
I have we're all together is 4 of us. So I have 3 siblings. 1 little brother and 2 sisters.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. And do you like? We've talked about this before. I think like with your cousins, do you think especially growing up here, like I was just saying, like we just had the Thanksgiving holiday. Now we're having Christmas. Like who's coming home for Christmas ain't Habesha anymore. Like it's getting real melting pot, which I love.
Yeah.
What's your feedback on that? Like, does that excite you? Are you, is that something that's like welcomed in your family, or is it like Habesha girl is what they want?
What they want is always what they want. Ideally, is definitely a Habesha girl.
Same.
And it's that's in a perfect world. I would say, but I never count anybody out. I think the person matters most for me. If what I'm saying, regardless of what color, ethnicity, whatever she comes from, I care about that person more than anything. So if that person's treating me right, doing me good, that's the person I'm gonna choose. And other than that, hey, whoever it is, they could go deal with that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm the one that's living this life, like,
Period. Yeah.
I'm with it, though. I think definitely branching out the cultures and kind of, people.
Okay. So I actually have more of a male audience with this podcast, which is surprising, more than female. But for the females that are listening, do you have any feedback on like, what can they do to meet a nice Habesha man or just a nice guy?
Yeah. Sheesh. Be a little nicer to us.
No, that's valid. Like, yeah. He's laughing over there too.
Be a little nicer. I definitely, please take off that requirement of 6 foot.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Give us 5'9" guys, like 5'8"
right.
guys, some love. I think we're good candidates.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's definitely one.
Do you have because we've had this discussion before of one of your questions that you ask a lot is what are the biggest flags?
Right.
Or what's your biggest ick? Do you think that in the generation that we're in social media that I'm not just gonna say women, but we people have taken the ick too far?
Yeah, I think it's everybody's trying to find this perfect person.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't exist. I think everybody thinks they're settling as soon as they are, they find a candidate that's kind of good. Because a lot of times I see this like happening. It's a pattern, and it's most people are ignorant to the patterns,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a habit that they formed, or I guess I don't know what it is. To be honest, I can't really put a finger on it, but everybody thinks they're settling as soon as they meet a good guy or meet a good girl and everything like that, and they're like, he was perfect, he was good, everything was good, but there's just, I don't know, just and then you just dip, and it's like, yo,
it's kind of crazy.
Then they end up alone, and it's the craziest thing ever. And it's just like, yo, look, that's how the game gonna go. If you do it, but I don't think you're settling. I think just pick a right person that's good.
Yeah, and I've talked to, who was it? I talked to Nebs about this too, that he also hasn't had a girlfriend ever, or he hasn't brought anybody home. Yeah. Now that response is different for you guys because you guys are males. For me, I get a little bit harder for my parents just because I'm female, which is bullshit. But I really think we're doing it the right way, and I don't know if it's an unspoken rule in the Habesha community where you could do what you want on Friday and Saturday nights. Like, that's your business, right? Like, some people are still outside. But as far as actually seriously bringing someone home, as far as, like, some of my other friends who they meet someone for my grandma's house, that would never happen in our culture. It just wouldn't.
Yeah, it wouldn't.
Like, you're still a homie at that point. We
facts.
don't know what you are yet. You know what I mean? Like, really.
Start dapping you up.
Like, seriously, you are still a homie at that point. Like,
hilarious.
Let's not get crazy. Yeah. Guys, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back after these short messages.
That was dope.
All right, guys, we are back after these short messages. Okay, so, sorry. All right, so we were talking about how, now I actually want to kind of discuss, like, where do you think that unspoken rule came from? Like, no one told me, like, don't bring anybody home that you're not serious. But I think growing up seeing my older cousins, like, like, I'm talking about, like, they were introducing their fiance almost versus, like, this is my boyfriend. Like, or maybe it was their boyfriend or girlfriend, and then 2 weeks later, homie's engaged. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where do you think that stems from in our culture? I think it stems from, like there's this unspoken rule of, like, don't bring shame to the family. And you're not just bringing, like, homie that you just spent on Friday night to the Thanksgiving dinner. What is your feeling? Like, where does that stem from?
Yeah, I would say I guess my take on that would be from cultural practices back home and stuff. It's like, most of the time the woman is getting married, like arranged marriage type vibes, you know what I'm saying? So it's like the partner's being fixed for her. The game is fixed for her. So it's usually the dad and whatever, they vet it up and they just kind of set it up, whatever, and they come home. So our cultural practices kind of have like an influence in that. Now it's like the women have choices, so you feel me? So it's when they go out there and pick a partner and everything, since a lot of the times you don't want to bring too many guys until, like, let's say you introduce them to like 5 different, like, which one is, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, what's going on here? Like, you feel me?
What is going on here?
Like, yo, like, this is the 5th candidate? What's going on? Like, no. It was just like,
yeah, she had a whole lineup. Yeah.
You feel me? So it's like the unspoken rules more so like, you don't want to introduce them to too many people that, you know what I'm saying, trying to figure out which one it is.
Yeah.
So, especially if you're attractive, because I know it's going to be a lot more difficult,
What do you mean?
Like, there's going to be a lot of guys that's probably going to, like, you know what I'm saying, like, you're going to, I would say the pool.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be like you could choose which one, you know what I'm saying? And then you picking is going to be a lot harder too.
Right,
so,
yeah. And that's, like, I've had feedback from, like, the older generation of my family where at this point, like, I'm 27 now, which they make me feel like I'm ancient, which is BS. And point they're like, at first they're like, you need to bring this guy home, this type of guy home, as I'm getting older, that list gets shorter and shorter. And I have to be mindful of that because I feel as though if I just bring anybody happy, so no one's going to hold me accountable. You know what I mean? Or at least my parents will, but like uncles and aunties, they're just happy that someone's coming home. Finally Mila's bringing someone home.
Just want to have a wedding, bro.
Like, and so I have to be like mindful of that because obviously I want my family to be happy and they want the best for me, but I have to make the right decision. Like, I have to bring the right person home because you're right. This is quite literally probably the most important decision you'll ever make in your life is the person that you end up with or your partner.
Build with.
Yeah. Build with. That's really it. Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, marriage is, or like picking a partner is somebody that's going to go 100 with you, It's not like 50-50. Everybody has, it's like, bro, you're not coming in with 50. with me. Like,
Bizz, you're really speaking it. I don't even think they're ready. Yeah, oh my God.
I think our culture has not had these conversations for real, you know, like, especially with like our parents and stuff. They don't really teach us, because back home practices and here they're so quiet about it too, because I know this like so different. It's such a different world for them too. They're trying to kind of like understand it themselves.
Oh, for sure.
Know? So it's yeah, you got to figure it out in that sense. But
yeah, that's really real. It really is not 50-50. Whoever told you that is a lie. Yeah. That is a lie. That's a really, really good point. So talking about like your social media, where do you want to go with that? Like, do you want to have your own show? Do you want to have your own production company? Like, where are you taking it? Where do you hope to take it?
All right, I'm gonna give you the 5-year goal, right? So the
5-year
goal is gonna be I'm trying to do.
It's like you're a professional. I love it.
I try. You know, it's I have an agenda. You know, little things. I don't seem as consistent because sometimes I gotta like take care of certain parts in the back end. You know, and it's like I mentioned, like I'm one-man team on this side, so it's like building something is going to require time and attention to certain things. Content for like a month, and that's me building some back end stuff that I can actually, you know, take care of.
Yes, that's the life of content creation. It's not just posting. Yeah. That's literally click of a button. Yeah. There's so much happening behind there. Right. So you're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah. And here's the thing: is once I fell with your content, I did wish that you posted more, just because that's just an example of that I love your content. I just want more. You know what I mean? Yeah. But sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, definitely. I appreciate you for that, and then I get it, because it's like they want food. It's like me serving food. You know, that's how I see it. And they get hungry. Yeah. They're going to go to a different restaurant. You know, I get the game. I know how it goes. But most of the time, I'm trying to really branch out, do some bigger things, and actually have some content that's going to really push the edge. So that's really what I'm working on right now. Okay, the 5-year goal back. Let's go back to the 5-year goals. 5-year goal is I'm trying to turn Tribe Vibe to like this big studio where artists, like any creative can come to, and then have like a place to create, you know, and everybody that's, you know, part of the culture wants to like do something about like with the culture and everything. I wanted to have it like be a place where they can come by, do whatever, consult with, you know, young kids that just want to really do something. You know, that's pretty much the 5-year goal plan right now. Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, I think even with your content and where you want to take it, I mean, it really does sound like you have intention behind it. So I know you're going to be successful, because I know people that did the content game, but they did it for a bag, or they did it for attention, or they did it for like male attention or validation or whatever. And it actually just made their life even worse, or it just did not bring value to the community. So the attention behind it is what can make you successful. I really believe that. Same thing with mine is that I just really want to create a space that is for us, right? Nice. By us, because there's just not anything out there. And if I had Firsties when I was, 14 years old, struggling in high school, trying to be cool with the cool kids, but then also had the double life of like going home and being a Habesha girl and like all the things, I might experience of what was happening, but at least I feel like I wasn't alone. Right. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of ministry and just knowing that you're just not alone. Like we're all like, I truly, when I went to the Salam Central event, that was like one of the very few times. I had the same thing when I went to Benny's show and met Benny too, that I'm like, oh my God, there's more people like me. And I want to be around these people because I feel less like a freak and not, you know what I mean? Rather than,
being alone is the scariest thing.
It really is.
Yeah, it's just, when you're fighting a battle alone, especially trying to figure out something, it's definitely scary because you fear that you're not going to be successful in it. And you feel that, the pressure gets to you. Like, it definitely has gotten to me, like, a couple of times. Mm-hmm. And I had to kind of, like, withdraw. Like, I mentioned, like, I've been doing this, like, making music and, like, everything for, like, about, like, 10 years in total now.
Wow.
Yeah, but I pushed away from music because it kind of, the social thing kind of broke me a little bit. And I was just like, I wasn't prepared for that. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, I kind of had to withdraw from it. But like you mentioned, when you're doing something alone, you're definitely not gonna get far.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. Only way to get far is together. I really believe that. Yeah. So meeting people like you, some of my other guests as well, and in the future, we've already talked about some projects that you want to do, which are.
I'm super excited on that.
Yeah. Which are you? And it's okay if you say no. Are you able to talk about that at all?
Yeah.
Do you want to?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So tell me about some of the next couple of projects that are coming out. This is really exciting. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's dope. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
This is a good plugin right
here.
Yeah. So the most exciting project that definitely we're gonna work on together. I'm excited about is the dating show that we're gonna come on. You know, so with Jebina, Salam Central, and everything, kind of had already like done the introduction.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, so they're interested, they want to do it. So I've been curating the whole concept and then kind of bringing a team together because I don't want to half-ass it and just like, you know, do something that's like, that has the potential to really like blow up.
Yeah.
And I don't want to half-ass it. And like, that's why I was like really admiring how prepared you are and like how I was like, oh, this is like, I could tell when somebody's doing something professionally. And I was like, okay,
I'm trying.
There's no jokes, you know? I was just like, nah, it's for real. And that's the dating show. That's what I'm trying to do with it. And I actually want to take the time and get a team together, studio spot, like, you know, just try to like really set it up right.
Yeah.
And that's the one that's going to be pretty cool for the culture right now.
I could already see the viral content with everything, the ridiculous stuff that we're going to say and whatever. Like, what? You know what I mean? So like, cool, oh my God. Yeah. Salam Central is going to eat that up. I'm so excited. Yeah, I'm so excited.
And shout out to Jebina because low key, it inspired that idea because I've been watching Jebina like, you know, cook, they doing their thing and the things. I was like, oh, man, this is cool. Like, but I saw the Salam Central when they were doing the e-dating thing. Yeah. And I was like, oh, this is cool. But nobody's done like a show. It was like, bruh. Like
that's the next step. Like, come on.
And there's so many, like the audience is huge. For,
like, really? Okay. Yeah.
Oh, the numbers are crazy right now. So
yeah.
Like, nobody's done this for like Habesha Vibes. I see some people attempt it in Ethiopia, but it's like, I think nobody's done it for like our generation.
Yeah. Oh. Which are the ones that are really, really viewing and stuff.
Know?
Yeah.
It's, definitely it's going to be a good take on that.
Yeah. That's really, really, that's really exciting. Now, do you have a team behind that project?
Yeah. Right now, I was saying like I've been hooking up on like making sure that I take care of the people that actually going to bring it to life, you know? So I started working with my boy. He has like a production team, has a studio and everything. And I was just like, hey, so let me come by, see the studio, see the equipment you have and everything. So I've been trying to, like I mentioned, like half-assing something. If it's don't half-ass it, just go all in, you know, and take.
Do you really believe in it?
Bet on yourself, you know, bet on yourself and bet on the ideas that you really want to bring out. And so I just met up with them and had the initial conversation, take care of that. Now I just got to go to the studio, really visit the equipment that they have and everything. Yeah. And then once everything is set in stone, like set in place, that's when the real, like, the gears are going to start moving.
Yeah. Now I've seen like, you know how like on YouTube, like 20 verse ones are very popular, all that stuff. They're hilarious. Yeah. Is there, if you could name like a content creator or someone on the internet that you are inspired by or that you would, who would it be? I'm trying to gauge like who. I'll share mine after if I want to see it. Oh, you're the best. Thanks.
That was definitely
shameless plug. Thank you.
No, but definitely because I admire the work that you put in and everything too.
Thank you.
For me, I would say, sheesh.
Like any YouTubers or streamers.
For real, I don't really be on that like streaming vibes or anything. Like, too much. But I used to watch the minorities.
Like, I love the minorities. Yeah, oh my God. I used to love the minorities. Yeah. Their whole like drama on like their like channel getting canceled and coming back and all that. But like they're really talented guys.
Those are the kind of guys I wanted to kind of like model my YouTube after for a bit. And I was just like, maybe not this culture because it's really hard to do that in the Habesha
It's very R-rated. Yeah. It's very R-rated.
Very R-rated.
Yeah.
You know, trying to keep it PG and stuff. But those are the kind of things I watch, you know. But overall, for me to kind of model myself after it, I kind of had to figure out just the structure of itself. I just had to figure it out for the Habesha community.
Right.
Like, you know, that's pretty much all.
Yeah, and even as a content creator, I found that like it took me a while. I pretended to be someone else, not even someone else, but like emulate someone else until I figured out how to be myself on camera, essentially, because I just don't know where I am yet. So it's like until I get comfortable. That's so true. Yeah, for sure. Why reinvent the wheel? It's already being successful, so let's just do it. You know what I mean?
Proven.
Yeah.
Make sure you do it too.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just switch it up, add sauce to it.
Yeah, which is why I really want to connect with you, because one thing about you is that when we were at the event, you really were just taking care of everyone, and you just had met me and my team, and you were like, "Are you good here?" Like, it was just so nice and sweet of you. It just reminded me like there's room for all of us here, and we're more powerful together, and let's do content created together, which is why I'm so looking forward to whatever project you need. I'll be there. Whatever, if you want me on camera, whatever, like I'm there.
Vice versa. And that's always be. I think people have this scarcity mindset where it's like, bro, it's a limited supply, bro. There's abundance of everything. You can't have that like this. Your mindset has to really change.
Yeah.
In that sense, you know, you really got to land of opportunity, abundance of everything, bro. Just work together, get more. That's it. You know? Yeah.
We are the land of opportunity. Absolutely. Yeah. And I do think probably that scarcity mindset comes from like my parents had that, you know what I mean? Where they're like, we had to grind because there's only a few of us or a few resources that they had. So like, I totally get why people kind of know that mindset, but it's just not necessary for our generation because our parents didn't get this far just for us to get this far. So let's move it further. You know what I mean? And do it together.
Gotta push the needle, but you can only push the needle so far by yourself until you get somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Pushing you, then that's how you elevate. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, pushing the needle, how far do you think you're going to take it? Because truly with my podcast, there's episode, like we just had the Thanksgiving break. Oh my God, Bizz. Like I was in like, you know, my Thanksgiving family.
Yeah.
And like I'm talking, you know, we come in numbers. It's not like 2 people. It's like 30, 40, 50 people. Yeah. And they put on my firsties on the thing. And we had to talk about it. And it made me happy because it forced the old generation to talk to their kids. I'm like, talk to your kids. Right. You know what I mean? But it was hella awkward. And I was like, hearing myself back, like I literally hear myself back for the edit. I posted, I do not watch it. I can't watch myself back.
We're not comfortable hearing ourselves. That's
so
facts.
Right. And so like I forget that like my family's watching, and I have told them that some of the conversations we're gonna have, you're not. Yeah. But I've prayed about it. I'm good with it. Right. And it's for to set my people free. And so how far, like you mentioned, the minorities, that's a little too far.
Yeah, that is way too far.
Right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
And that's not pushing the needle. That's going backwards a little bit.
Exactly. Yeah. You're setting us back. Yeah. Yeah. So as far as your content, like how far do you want to push it as far as like I'm sure it's the same as mine, honestly. It's just like you want to create content for us by us is what it sounds like.
Completely. And that's the biggest thing. I think you mentioned like the dialogue needs to happen, like as far as like us talking to parents and stuff. And I think everybody's been scared or quiet to really have that conversation with their parents and stuff.
Right.
You know? And you gotta be willing to put yourself out there and be at peace with yourself. And you know what I'm saying, at war with the world. That's what Nipsey said. And that's like one thing that always stick with me, you know? And be at peace with yourself and at war with the world. And you know what I'm saying, at war with yourself. You're not you're gonna crash out.
Talk about it.
You know? Yeah.
Wow, talk about it. Yeah. It's like, it's so weird. It's like you'll like crack a joke and then be so deep right next. I'm like, you're just so both spectrums. I love it.
Balance that.
I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna. All right, guys, we are back. So before we wrap this episode, I've been asking you a bunch of questions, and I essentially asked you all the questions that you always ask on your social media and stuff, which is so crazy. In that content that you do, does anyone ever flip it on you and ask you those questions like on camera? You haven't posted it, but I'm guessing that they do.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. Like, well, what do you think? Yeah, especially the girls. I'm sure they're like, well, what do you think? Yeah. So before we wrap this episode, we do Firsties Corner. Right. So the reason why it's called Firsties Corner is because, you know, I would not be here without a million people in my corner, even people that are, you know, praying over me. And so I think it's helpful when we, as, you know, us on this episode, we're able to give some feedback to people out there. So if you want to submit for Firsties Corner, you could at any point, firstiespod everywhere. That's Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I just found out we're on Pinterest now, Snapchat, everywhere. Or you could email us at firstiespod@gmail.com. So the question here is actually a dating question.
Awesome. Yo, the dating questions
is going crazy. So essentially, this was a really long question. So I kind of shortened it. So like, forgive me. But essentially, asking, I'm guessing it's a girl, but I don't know. She was essentially asking us, what is it? How do you know the date is going good or not on a first date? That's essentially, she's basically like, hey guys, I went on a first date. I don't know if it went good. I don't know if he likes me or not. So I would love some feedback, is essentially what she said. Yeah. It was really like a paragraph long. I had to like cut it down. I was like, girl, we had to. Yeah.
I'll take you on that date first. Yeah. I'll tell you how it's going. No, but sheesh, that's such a hard question because that's like damn.
Because it is situational, right? Like I really do have to be there and watch to really, really
observe the whole situation for me and have an input on it.
Now my knee-jerk reaction was, if you have to question it, I think you already know your answer. In my experience, I find that like when a guy really is into you, and please interrupt me. When a guy really, like my guy friends too, when a guy really likes a girl, he will let her know in a million ways. Facts. Is that true or not?
I go 100%.
Okay, there you go. So if you have to question it, then I think there's your answer there, which might be harsh, but that's just my feedback. Sorry, not sorry.
Definitely. The biggest, I definitely agree with that. And I would also say add on is be yourself. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to change or like try to accommodate somebody. Like, you know what I'm saying? Find somebody that's going to be happy with you.
Right.
And actually appreciates you and enjoys your like energy, time, fun and stuff. And that person will let you know. And
it's like really good.
That's my take on it. If that person makes you question yourself like that, it's usually mind games going on. So
which we were too grown for mind games at this point. That is on the playground. That's a really
psychology books and just comes out the cut with them. I was like, bro, terrorizing people right now, bro. This is crazy.
No, that's a really, really really good point. Yeah, I say, like I said, if you have to ask, that there is your answer there, because when a guy really likes you, I think he's very, very like wanting to get to know you. He will go on your time, on your schedule. So there's your answer there. So don't waste your time is what I would say. Also, there's a million other guys out there. So that's a really good answer. So that was Firsties Corner. Before we wrap this episode, do you have any questions or anything else that you want to add? Anything that you want to plug?
I do want to plug in. I actually brought you a gift. So
no, you did not.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my God.
Take care of my people. And so it's one of my brands I'm working on right now. It's called New Flowers, like Ethiopian streetwear brand and stuff. And I'll be rocking it everywhere. If you see me outside, you do be rocking it. It's the hoodie drop that I did. Dropped it, to be honest. I'm planning on figuring out what I want to do with it right now, but enough about that. You can probably cut that one. But overall though, so it's Ethiopian streetwear brand, and I actually brought it to you. So let me go grab that.
Oh my God, that's so sweet. Oh, he came in with a bag and I was like, oh, what's that?
Yeah, I didn't go shopping.
Yeah. All right,
I got you one.
Oh, this is Bizz. This is
This is my best seller. I'm not even gonna lie. Shout out to everybody that's been supporting your boy and helping out. This is a GG shirt.
Oh, I saw in the caption, I want to ask you about this. You were interviewing someone and then you said, check out GG or something. And I was like, wait, what was that? Let me see. Hold up. Oh, shit.
Yep.
That looks... What? Yeah, I'm definitely plugging this. This will be on my next episode. I'll be rocking this.
And this is also the
crew
neck.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Bizz.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my God. Look at, wow. Did you just design this yourself?
Yeah. I had one of my business partners that helped me out with it. As far as with the fonts.
Damn, you're really a businessman. Yeah. Wow. He's really out here, huh? That's amazing. That is very sweet. I think that's the very first time I have a gift on the show. That is very, so sweet. You gotta make that a practice.
You gotta, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's so sweet. Which I honestly, I could cut this, but we probably should talk about this as well. Is that my 6 month and 8 month and year goal is now I'm getting and everything. Yeah. Because that is all you rock essentially. Yeah. That or like some like
your brand. Yeah. Make sure that you represent yourself.
You believe in it. Yeah. Thank you so much. This is so sweet. That's really sweet. I will definitely be putting all your information down below as well. Is this going to be available soon or like what?
Hoodies probably, yeah.
Okay.
I was supposed to already drop it on the 12th, to be honest, but like I mentioned, I'm changing strategies on a couple of things. So I'm probably not going to drop it. I'm just going to do giveaways on it. So,
okay.
Yeah. But it's going to be available on there.
Okay. And then lastly, before we wrap up, what can they expect about your content? I'm going to plug everything in the description, but I'm sure you already have things cooking and you're editing and all that stuff.
Yep.
Do you do just events, or are you just like one day you just go out, you know, let's see, in the DC streets and you do interviews? Like, how does that work?
I plan on events. A lot of the college events that happen and stuff like that. Usually I go there. That's wherever the Habesha crowd is meeting. I'm usually probably going to be there.
Pulling out. Yeah.
And I've kind of just learned to navigate that course, because most of the Habesha events you go to is usually the parents and stuff. They're not really, you know, with their kids come through and stuff like that. They're not going to let you interview their kid in front of them. Some of them are cool. Some of them are fun and stuff. But I think the college events are the ones that I've been like really like predominantly showing up to.
Yeah.
Yeah. And things to expect, definitely better questions. I've literally sat down for like 2 weeks and just came up with a whole bunch of questions that I would like to hear. Now I'm kind of filtering whichever ones that are not good, which ones are good. Kind of,
strategy.
That's pretty much all right now. So definitely better questions. A lot more. I don't know. Yeah, I would just say better questions.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All right, guys, that's the end of this episode. Thanks again, Bizz, for coming on. I had so much fun with you today. I love my gifts. I'm surprised I didn't cry. I usually do. I'm going to plug him down below. So please make sure you give him a follow, interact with his content as well. It's really, really funny and really, really relatable, which is why I love it. And if you ever get a chance to meet him and be in his videos, it's just a whole, I mean, you're really in it. Like, you're really doing the damn thing. Like, you really are. Yeah. As always, guys, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And then I always end the episode with call your parents, call your loved ones. We're only here for a certain amount of time. So please make sure that you make some time for your family. And this will be coming out on Christmas. So happy holidays and Merry Christmas, guys. Yeah, all that. I cannot talk that. So thank you. My mom is pissed off. Okay. We're going to end this episode, guys. So thanks again for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in our next episode.
God bless. Thank you.